Hey guys, Philosopher here, and we've got our top 10 characters to invest in for the month of March 2021. Now, just to be clear, what this video is not, this is not a list of the top 10 characters right now in the game. So you're not going to see characters like Thanos on this list, or Black Bolt, or Phoenix. Those are characters that are powerful now, who have a use of the meta now, but their best days are behind them. What we're going to focus on in this video is what are the top 10 characters you should be investing in for future value. So we're going to be focusing on endgame viability. If you are concerned about what to do as a beginning player, I will have a link in the comments to an infographic for starter teams for new players. But this is not for new players. This is for players who have been playing the game for a while and are trying to invest intelligently in characters that are going to hold their value for a long period of time. All right, so let's get right to the list. I'm going to tell you guys some characters that were hard to cut, that are honorable mentions, but are not on the list. Ultron is an honorable mention because he's going to be getting red stars now, finally. But we don't know when those red stars are coming. They're not going to be coming for months, potentially. So I think right now, Ultron's a character you can put off investing in for a little while longer. Mr. Sinister's also not on this list. I know you guys love Mr. Sinister. I've heard so many things about how amazing this character is. But unfortunately, Mr. Sinister's speed is only 100. Right now, that's very slow. He is going to be in a lot of game modes just totally outclassed by all these characters with speed manipulation and hyper fast speed. So he's really, to me, more of a Dark Dimension character, and he's good in certain raids where there's important characters for him to clone. He's also got use on War Defense, but that's waning as new counters like Shadowlands come in. Ebony Maw is not on the list. I think he's a useful character, but his viability in raids, I think, over time is going to go down given the long cooldowns, but he's a very good character. Hela and Shuri have increased viability now at the Doom raid, but they didn't make the list either. Those are some of the hard cuts that were on the list. But let's start with number 11. And why are we starting with number 11 on the list? Because I got Doom on this list, and I think all you guys know that you already want to upgrade Doom. So let's go right to character number 11, and that's White Tiger. You've got to be thinking to yourself, why would I possibly want to be investing in White Tiger over so many other characters that I could be investing in the game? All right? Let me give you an example of why you want to invest in White Tiger. This is what I did in RTA this morning when I was running one of my 2 daily attacks. Just loaded it up, and White Tiger basically soloed the entire enemy team with Emma Frost. She killed in 1 turn before the enemy got a turn. G14 Emma Frost. She killed G14 Hela, G14 Daka, G15 Thanos, G14 Carnage. She absolutely decimated the enemy team. How is that? Well, let's take a look at her kit. And here's what's important to know about White Tiger. When she's on her full team, she gets a ton of speed bar on spawn, so she goes before every other character in the game. And when she does, she also gets offense up for 2 turns, and that means she can go right in on her first turn and do an insane amount of piercing damage that ignores armor, and also, oh yeah, ability block for 2 turns in war. You know what that means? She's going to be your Doom counter for many, many months to come. As more and more Dooms appear in Alliance War, you're going to want to use White Tiger as a counter and the Shadowlands team. Very important character, and by the way, she's also good in the Mystic nodes of Doom raids because of this on-kill fill speed bar by 70%. She's great when she's paired with Doom, who gives her extra speed bar because she can go on a tear and kill several enemies on essentially 1 turn after another. All right, now we're going to go to character number 10. Another character that's going to surprise you, Night Nurse. Why the heck, you may be asking yourself, do I want to invest in Night Nurse? Member of the same team, she's been long derided as a garbage character. You know, right? Well, she just got a rework, and as you guys can see, I upgraded her T4s, 3 of her T4s, which are absolutely essential upgrades for the Shadowlands team. But between that and giving her level 5 healer ISO, this character is almost unkillable. And let me give you a sense of what I mean by that. This is another RTA match that I had, and in the end, this was a humongous punch-up against a team that had a G14 Phoenix, a G15 Thanos, and a G14 Hela. Look at this 6 red star G14 Phoenix on the right. Night Nurse was solo against that Dark Phoenix, 6 red star G14 Dark Phoenix, and she won. How the hell did Night Nurse beat Dark Phoenix one-on-one? Let me tell you. Because her passive gives her speed bar if she or any other Shadowland and ally gets under 50% health. So what happened was she was dropping, Phoenix would get her under 50% health. Then what would happen is Night Nurse would get speed bar. She would get defense up, which would decrease its damage by 50%. And then she would get, because of her ISO, she'd get a ton of active healing. And then on turn, she'd get a 25% chance to heal herself, who is the only one standing, the most injured ally. And then 2 of her 3 abilities are massive heals that all benefit from ISO. This character is absolutely ridiculous. Oh yeah, by the way, she was slowing Phoenix for 2 turns on her basic as well. This character is OP, and if you are going to want to succeed in the skill raid, you're going to need to do it with Night Nurse. All right, so now let's go to number 9, and he's an oldie but goodie, Symbiote Spider-Man. Well, I think you already know what Symbiote Spider-Man does, and I bet you already have him upgraded as much as you possibly can. He's a fantastic character who is essential for the city nodes of Dark Dimension 3 and Dark Dimension 4. He's also essential for the bio nodes of the Doom Raid, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. We just got a mutant rating team. I won't be surprised if we get a mystic rating team and a skill rating team in the not too distant future as more people run the Doom Raid. But Symbiote Spider-Man and his team, I think, will be the bio team for some period of time to come. And even if there's a hybrid team created in the future, I think this character is so good that he's going to be a standalone character in a hybrid team for quite some time. All right, number 8 on the list, a character that just became farmable in the raid store, Baron Zemo. So why is Baron Zemo on this list? Here's what's amazing about Baron Zemo. He is such a good standalone character that even when his team falls off, Baron Zemo nonetheless is going to be usable on all sorts of hybrid teams. In Arena, he's going to be super useful in the upcoming Doom Surfer meta where he can rush in early with a very fast ability block, which can shut down a character like Doom. Not so much Silver Surfer, of course. But he's also really great in Alliance War, and people are coming up with all sorts of hybrids involving Zemo, whether it's the Hydra 3.0 team involving Hydra Grenadier that counters Mercs, or they use him sometimes with Hela to spread ability block. I think he's a character that is going to be useful in Arena and useful in War for a long time to come. And by the way, new players are even using him to get through the Villains campaign. All right, so now for character number 7, Shatterstar. Now, Shatterstar, I have to say, is a little bit conditional on this list. You should only be upgrading Shatterstar if you have Longshot already. And that's an important distinction. If you don't have Longshot, if you don't have him unlocked, if you don't have him geared up, don't be spending and putting resources into Shatterstar. But with Longshot, paired up with Longshot, he forms one of the most OP duo in the game. And that's because Longshot gives them all tons of turns. And then, of course, Shatterstar is healing on his turn. He's gaining tons of crit damage, giving additional crit damage to Longshot, which makes Longshot the best damager overall in the game right now. And then, of course, he's giving barrier to himself and Longshot every time either one of them crit. And oh yeah, he's critting 35% of the time with bonuses, a bonus crit chance when he is in the same team as Longshot, which he always will. So his abilities all center around critting all the time, giving bonuses to Longshot. For example, applying defense up to Longshot to keep him alive, putting defense down on the character, giving ability to enter the Longshot, keeping Longshot going. And let me give you a hint, Longshot's going to be very high on this list. All right, so now let's go to character number 6, Red Guardian. I know you're telling yourself, Red Guardian? I thought Skill Military sucked. Well, yeah, that may be the case, and I know they're getting reworked. But this is one of the most powerful standalone characters in the game. And he is absolutely essential if you want to finish the skill portion of the Doom Raid. If you look at his passive, Red Guardian gets on spawn, taunt, and defense up, which is just absolutely key. And then, of course, he gets a lot of health, and a lot of block chance, which helps keep him alive. This guy takes a massive amount of punishment. And, of course, on his first turn, what does he do? He uses his special to clear negative effects, to gain taunt, to apply defense up to himself and all allies, and to heal himself and all allies for 20% of his max health. So this is a character that just gives a tremendous amount of sustain to your team, a tremendous amount of survivability to your team, and even without Night Nurse, you can get through the first couple nodes in the skill portion of the Doom Raid with him alone. As for Alliance War, this character is doing a lot of work. He's usually on hybrid teams with Sinister 6 or Mercs, making it difficult for X-Force to counter them because of his on-spawn taunt. He's seeing use in Arena with Doom. He's seeing use in raids, particularly in the Greek raids as well, in the global nodes and in the skill nodes of the beta raid. All right, now let's go to number 5, and that's Bishop. So Bishop is our representative of the Axemen, which of course are a very strong team, absolutely amazing team. But here's the thing with the Axemen. You will not get the most out of your Axemen team unless you have a big Bishop. And that's because Bishop is both the damager and the protector for this team. So as you get Bishop large, Bishop is going to be clearing out enemies, killing them, generating speed bar for the rest of the team, and he's also going to be taking punches to keep the rest of the team alive. So you want to make sure Bishop is your biggest character. As for the other characters in the team, Jubilee and Beast are fantastic, and you only want Bishop, by the way, if you have Jubilee unlocked, okay? You only want to invest in Bishop at that point. But Jubilee's great, but she's more of a character that you just want to keep alive, not one that you need to have to the max gear level. Same thing with Beast. As long as they're alive and, healing and spreading their debuffs, it can hit their debuffs, they're fine. The one character you want to get really big and that you want to invest in the most is going to be Bishop. And by the way, he's even great in hybrid teams. Jubilee, Bishop, and Beast do really well with the Dad Bros on some of the mutant nodes in the Doom Raid. All right, number 4 is a character we all think of as one of the best in the game, Emma Frost. I don't really need to convince you why Emma Frost is fantastic. She's an amazing plug-and-play character. She cleanses debuffs pretty regularly. She clears all the enemies' buffs, so she's a absolutely essential Black Order counter right now until Silver Surfer enters the game. And of course, she also has that passive which generates a speed advantage for any team that she's on. This is a fantastic plug-and-play character who, as soon as Black Order is out of the arena meta, will be on every arena team or most arena teams because she just offers so much versatility and so much there. And of course, she also sees a lot of action in raids. And she's one of these almost unkillable characters in Alliance War once you get her to level 5 ISO because, let's face it, with this passive, she can just often out-heal the enemies that are attacking her. All right, and that brings me to another unkillable character, Doc Ock. Doc Ock, I think, is going to be a number 3 on this list because as soon as Black Order leaves Arena, which we expect to happen once Silver Surfer is out, Dr. Octopus is going to be on almost any Arena team. He's a character who prevents your team from having offense down, which is huge. It's essentially a 50% damage increase for your team. That's absolutely huge right here. He's also almost impossible to kill. Why? Because when he blocks, he heals himself for 10% of his max health. Of course, in war, that's 20%, which makes him almost impossible to kill because he gets so much block chance. He also generates a summon, which makes him fantastic in raids and in Dark Dimension, where the AI loves to target a summon just like they love to target Hela's Greg. So I expect Dr. Octopus to hold value for a very long time to come. And of course, by the way, in the short term, his buff flip does amazing work against the Black Order, and his regens also help a lot in raids. Probably the most important tech character for the tech nodes in Doom, other than Doom himself, who we'll get to later. So, who is the number 2 character on this list? I'm going to have to put Longshot as number 2. And it pains me because all of you know that Longshot is my favorite character right now in the game. And I think the most overpowered character in the game next to Doom. But he's not Doom. And let's face it, Longshot is amazing. He's the first character in a long time I spent gold promos on because this character outdamages Black Bolt and has a more ridiculous passive than Carnage all at the same time. Oh yeah, he also heals himself constantly as well. Let's take a look at his kit. So as all of you know, Carnage's passive increases his speed bar by 30% when a character gets to low speed, right? To low health, under 25%. But look at what Longshot does. Longshot gives him and his team 20% speed bar whenever anyone crits. And that's really, really good. It's way better than Carnage's passive because you can only get an enemy down to low health once unless the enemy keeps healing himself over and over. Whereas Longshot, well, heck, your team can crit over and over and over, 10 times in a row. And every time, Longshot's going to give the entire team speed bar. It makes the team ridiculous. And by the way, every time they take a turn, they start shrugging off those debuffs. They heal for 20% of their max health. Shatterstar is giving everyone shields. And it's just absolutely ridiculous. And by the way, his damage is insane. You know, this ult is doing around 500k to 600k at times for me on defense down targets. Absolutely insane. And by the way, you use it more than you think because you take so many turns. And then literally every other turn, he's just attacking every enemy and bleeding. And between getting 3 attacks here, attacking everyone here, and a guaranteed crit here, he is critting all the time because, hey, with green ISO, this guy gets 60% crit chance. I think with blue ISO, it's going to get higher. And now let's turn to the number 1 character on this list, Doctor Doom. You know, Doctor Doom has been maligned by some people who think that, oh, he's not powerful enough. Oh, he's not what I expected. He's not delivering his promise. And I will tell you, as one of the first people in the game, the 4th person in the game to unlock Doom, he is amazing. I use Doom in every game mode. I use him in Arena. I use him in Raids. I use him in War. He is unbelievable. On War offense, you can put him with 4 garbage characters and he can beat almost any team. On War defense, sometimes opponents are giving me 3 or 4 wins, even at high levels in War. In Arena, he's very difficult for opponents to beat because you can throw him with different characters and they have to come up with a hybrid on the fly that can beat that team. Obviously, he doesn't hold on Arena defense if you just keep him there overnight. But I changed the team around and switch between a Doom team and Black Order, and it seems to work fairly well for me. But look, what's interesting about this character is not just how he performs now, how he's performing for me, and obviously he's just mopping up the tech nodes and the mystic nodes in Doom, because of course he's both tech and mystic, so he helps you in 2 sections. But he also, of course, and he's mopping up the Greek raids for me. But what's going to be awesome is when Silver Surfer enters the game and counters Black Order. The combination of Silver Surfer and Doctor Doom, I think, is going to be the centerpiece of the Arena meta for months and weeks to come. All right, guys. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please smash the like button below, subscribe to this channel, and take a look below because you can join our Discord, you could try our Twitch stream out. There's plenty of ways to get involved, get more of our content, some of the infographics and videos that we provide.